So welcome, Keira. Welcome to the Employee Spotlight. Now's your time in the spotlight. So tell me about what you do here at Elantis.
Oh boy. Well, I've been with Elantis for about 6 months now, and I've been a part of so many different projects in so many different ways. I've done training for different clients. I've also done a lot of documentation. I've gotten myself into robotic process automation, working with Nintex forms, everything you can imagine, and it's been wonderful. I've loved every second of it.
Awesome. So let's back up a little bit because I'm really curious to know about your career path and what led you here at Elantis. So tell me about your career path and how you got to the role that you're in today.
Right. So my dad is actually part of, he works with the oil field and that industry. And because out of school I had no idea what I wanted to do, I just went into instrumentation engineering technology, which is what he went to school for, just following in his footsteps. And it was a 2-year program. And in the second semester that I had, we ended up taking just a simple course in C++, which is like a very old coding language. And I loved it. I loved it so much that I completed my first year of school and I transitioned into the digital media and IT program. I said, you know what, this is not for me. I need to focus my career on programming and computers because that's what I love to do. So that's what I did. I ended up in the digital media and IT program doing applications development, which was amazing. I learned so much, and that's kind of where I ended up in the tech industry.
Very cool. Well, that's so neat to hear how things shifted for you, and it sounds like now you're really in a career that you love and that you're passionate about, which is amazing. So I was going to ask, what first sparked your interest in technology, but aside from following in your father's footsteps, was there anything else that perhaps growing up you always had a knack for technical things, or is there something that you kind of knew that this was going to be your area of interest?
Oh yeah, absolutely. From a young age, I was always kind of drawn to computers and especially video games. I grew up watching my dad play the computer and it just kind of drew me in. I've always been kind of attuned to technology and I just picked these things up very quickly, and it's just been something about myself that's been since I was a young child. So it's just how I am.
That's awesome. Your brain just works like that.
It does. It does. I'm a logical brain.
So it sounds like your father was a really great inspiration for you. Did anyone else influence or inspire you to take this career path? Perhaps any women in the industry who you look up to? Who is an inspiration for you?
Well, any woman in the tech industry is an inspiration to me. And growing up, it was not so common to see women in the industry. And I think that drew me in a little bit more too. I've always been a little bit of a different character. So I wanted to just follow in that. And why not just, be amazing at something and, really show that women in the tech industry can be boss and awesome at it. So that's just kind of how I've kind of followed my path. So
amazing. And yeah, you are boss right now what you're doing, so just keep it going. I'm curious, outside of work, what are some other things that you're passionate about? What are some of your interests beyond your day-to-day work here at Elantis?
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm a big gamer. That is one of my biggest things in my life is being able to sit down and play a video game. And obviously Netflix is a big one too. You gotta decompress at the end of the day. Nothing better than watching some trashy reality TV show to make you feel a little bit better. But other than that, I'm very passionate about my family. I'm very dedicated to my family, and my dog is one of those people in my family. I love him so much. So animals in general is one of the big things that I'm passionate about. So yeah, just family, being able to have fun and not take yourself too seriously. That's kind of the mottos that I live by. Yeah.
That's awesome. And I can get a sense from you too that you carry that with you to your work here at Elantis. And so, not taking yourself too seriously, having fun. I always see you with a smile on your face, and being able to joke around with the team, which is so important, and what makes Elantis what it is, right? Is the culture here. Yeah. So aside from the culture that we have, which perhaps you knew about or didn't before you started at Elantis, what attracted you to this company?
Oh my gosh. Well, when I first was looking for jobs in this industry, the first thing that I noticed, I came to the website and I saw this video of Dave talking about Elantis and what they stand for, and just his approach to his company and how he wants to be perceived as a company was so amazing to me, because I've worked for a number of different companies in the past, and that emphasis on culture and making sure that you come to work happy and you're getting something out of it, you have progression, it just really drew me into it. And I was like, I need this job, I need to work with these people, they are my people. And that's exactly what I thought when I joined. I came home after my first day, I told my fiance, I said, these are my people, I am so happy, like this is where I'm meant to be. So everything about Elantis and its culture is why I'm here. And obviously with the knowledge and being able to learn everything, I want to fill this brain full of knowledge, and I can do that here, which is amazing.
That's incredible to hear that your expectation of Elantis turned out to be the reality, and it sounds like it's even better than what you expected, which is just even better. So that's great. So, and this could be at either Elantis or perhaps your career up to this point. What is a moment that you are most proud of in your career so far?
Oh my gosh. Any time that I can bring my personality and, just be a positive person to a client or to an employee or a team member, whoever, I'm most proud of the fact that I can get to wherever I want to be just being myself. And that is the most important thing to me in my whole entire life. I've always been a very big advocate for just being yourself. And I've gotten to many places where I am right now by just being myself. And I feel like that is my biggest accomplishment, is that I can stay true to my morals and what I believe in, and I can, proceed with everything. You don't have to, be aggressive. You don't have to be, just that person that's bullish. You need to be a positive, nice person, and that's what I've done. So I'm very proud of that.
Absolutely something to be proud of. And I love that concept of having a values-driven career where you can bring your full self to work. You don't have to try to be someone else. You don't have to try to fit into a job description. You can use that as a guide, of course, but you are given that freedom to really flex who you are and own who you are and grow as who you want to be, right? So Absolutely. That's incredible that you're able to find that here and able to bring your full self, your full fabulous self to work every day, which is amazing. So aside from that, is there anything else that really gets you excited to come to work in the morning and is something that you're passionate about? Perhaps it's a project you're working on or clients you're working with right now. What are you most excited about your work right now?
Well, I just love coming to work today to see all of the lovely faces at the office. I feel like just being here is such an important part, and any day that I learn something new is a good day, and that's what gets me up in the morning. That's what makes me excited to come to work and to do my job. And So that is like the biggest thing. I want to just learn something new every day, and I've continued to do that ever since I started here. So that's exciting.
So it sounds like you have a really like in tune growth mindset, that you want to grow, you want to learn, that your journey for learning just doesn't end. That's what life is about, right? That's what work is about. But have you ever encountered any challenges throughout your career, could be in your current role or prior to Elantis, that you faced, and how might you have overcome them?
I think the biggest thing for me was previous places that I've worked, they didn't have the culture mindset. It was just come to work, get your work done. There was no camaraderie. It was no celebrate your successes. It was just do your work, then you're done. And that was a big struggle for me, with being such a positive attitude and needing to have those successes to celebrate and have a family to come to work to. And I think just as hard as it was in some ways, I think being able to overcome the negativity was one of my biggest successes. And like, I think it brought me to where I am today, regardless of, the experiences that I've had. They've brought me to who I am, and I've learned so much from being able to overcome other people's negativity and their perception of who you should be. As long as you can stay true to that, you'll end up where you're supposed to be, whether it's 10 years after you graduate or a year after you graduate. Like, it may have taken me a little bit to find this place, but I feel at home, and I'm like, this is it for me. I love this place. And that's all because I kept a positive attitude. I knew what I wanted. I kind of endured the hardship, and I deserve where I am today because of that. So
totally deserve it. Everything that's come your way. That's incredible. So what would you say to someone who might be newer in their career in IT or technology, or even considering perhaps a career at Elantis? So you can answer this question either way you like, I guess, whether they're new to Elantis or new in their IT career. What is one piece of advice that you wish you had known when you were in that position, or something that you'd love to share and now knowing what you do?
Ask questions and take every opportunity that you can to learn something new, because it may not mean something now, but later on, anything that you do, anything that you learn along the way will contribute to who you are in 10 years and 20 years. Like, experience is what builds a person and builds your career. And put yourself into something, even if it's not really what you were set out to do. Ask questions. Hey, what are you doing? Like, just be attuned to what other people are working on. And I feel like there's this mentality for some places where that's not in my job description is such a big thing that people throw around, and I'm not going to do that because it's not in my job description. Do it, because you'll learn so much from it, and you'll become a better person for it too. So that would be my biggest thing.
Great piece of advice. And you never know where those skills and that knowledge might take you, perhaps to your next role, or it's just something that you always have in your back pocket that I remember when I worked on that.
Exactly.
It's I love that you can never learn it all, right? And so if you approach things with that growth mindset, then it's bound to take you places because you're open to new experiences. So I have one more question for you, Keira, and it really is more of what is next for you. So I know that you're so happy here at Elantis and that you're really growing within the role that you have here. Where do you see your career in technology taking you?
Well, my first week working with Elantis, I was working a lot with Ria, who's an amazing person with an Elantis. And I told her my first week, I said, I want to be you when I grow up. And just to have that desire to just get to a place where I've, learned along the way, I can give mentorship to somebody else. I feel like that's kind of where I see myself getting to, just to, be aware of everything that's going on and have the knowledge to teach somebody else new to the industry. I think that is kind of my goal, and I think that's wonderful. I want to be, someone who can invite somebody new to the tech industry and, take them under my wing and teach them the ropes. I think that'd be great.
Sounds like an amazing goal to have. And yes, one day we'll all be Ria,
Coming
right?
For you,
that's,
Ria.
That's the ultimate.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Keira. And I hope you enjoyed your time in the spotlight.